This challenge is either gonna go amazing or fail horribly, and it all depends on how good I am at drafting. Because today, we are gonna be rebuilding this 0 overall team, but I am not allowed to spend first round picks. Now, of course, we have one, but once we get to the draft, we have to trade it down, which could be a very big disadvantage. And by the end of this, we are gonna see how good we can make this team. But super quick, I'm gonna keep this intro super short, as I have been doing lately. Be sure to leave a like on the video, and if we can get to 2,000 likes, it'll let me know that y'all want to see a somehow even harder version of this. And for that, I'm thinking maybe no free agents allowed? Something to make it even harder? We'll see, but 2,000 likes and I'll do this again. Sounds stupid, but leaving a like really does help out the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're very close to 60K. And if y'all are excited for the college football rebuilds, those are coming very soon. And last thing, no shout out for this, but let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down in the comments, because normally I do shout outs. Let me know any fun 0 overall rebuild ideas, because y'all know I love doing these. But without further ado, let's just get straight to the end of the year. I don't even know if I'm gonna show the stats for a 0 overall team. Do I have to at this point? Y'all have seen them. I might go over them quick, but let me guess. 0-17? Okay, yeah, we finish 0-17. But what happened to the rest of our division? These teams got 2 free wins a year against us, and the best team was still 9-8. The Panthers went 4-13. I mean, I know we're the NFC South, not exactly the strongest, but that's just sad, man. And I know I wasn't gonna check stats, but Matthew Wright, 500 yards, 0 touchdowns, 55 interceptions. Not great. And of course, no positive rushers. But let's get into the offseason. I really don't think we're gonna do anything in free agency. I'd rather just build this team through the draft to start out, and then next year we'll sign a ton of free agents. Maybe we'll sign 1 or 2 this year, we'll see. But what we really need this year is a quarterback, obviously. But super exciting move here. We're gonna be signing Jonah Williams. League-changing move here. He's also asking a lot of money for his current skill level. So I'm kind of questioning if I want to do this, but I'm worried about our offensive line, so I'm gonna sign him. Cool, I guess. But here in the draft, we of course have the #1 pick, which we obviously can't spend. So I'm gonna trade this back. I managed to pick a team that has like 0 draft picks in Madden. I think my controller died. It was scrolling without me pressing anything. That was cool. Thought I got haunted for a second. But let me trade this pick down, and I'm not gonna show any of these trades because this is gonna take a while to get out of the first round. Okay, I got all the picks traded down, and we have the first pick in the second round, of course. I had to get it back from the Eagles. I don't remember what the Saints traded it for originally, but okay, that's unfortunate. Maybe. There were a lot of first round QBs who were bad. I don't know if there were any that were actually worth a first round pick. Maybe one that was worth like a first to second, but some of them are still left, and the one I think we are gonna go for is Jay Harris. He's only 21 years old, second to third round talent, which technically isn't like an amazing pick here because it's the first pick of the second round, but I mean, A, he's a quarterback. That's obviously important, and I don't remember what I was gonna say for B. I said A, he's a quarterback, and I don't know what my other point was gonna be, but he looks okay, so we're gonna take him. Hidden Dev, okay, I honestly thought he would have normal. Honestly looks pretty good. 92 throw power, not the fastest, but 85 change of direction, 83 acceleration, so I guess he's kind of a scrambling quarterback, just slow. I feel like a lot of quarterbacks are slow, but have really good change of direction. It's weird. Oh, my other point was gonna be he's only 21, so even if he isn't that good, I mean, he's gonna develop, so I think that'll be worth it. But this is where things get maybe a little harder. Ooh, I think we're gonna go with Daryl Dunbar. Good speed, elite acceleration, and jumping. A-man, B awareness, B zone. Probably normal dev, because he's a corner, but we'll take him anyways. I just need to manifest it. I just need to say they're gonna have normal and they'll have hidden. It's like magic. I think he's really good. I think that was a very good pick. I hope. I don't know how many picks I'm gonna show, but I guess we'll find out. Ooh, let's see if there's like an 80-something overall offensive lineman. Probably not. None of them look that crazy. Warren Miller does look pretty good though. Ooh, Grant Myers had 41 bench reps, but his ratings aren't very good. I mean, he has a few A's, but lots of C's. But let's go with Oscar Divins at receiver. Never seen that last name. But elite acceleration, a few great ratings, or whatever you want to call him. You know, the more I look at him, the less he looks good, the worse he looks. But I mean, he has A spec catch, B short route, at least decent medium route. Probably going to be like a 75 normal. Okay, checks the normal box. We'll see what his overall is. I think I'll show 2 more picks this year. Unfortunately, it didn't look like there was a very good safety. I mean, maybe, but I didn't see one. Oh yeah, that's what I want in a zone safety. 4.6 speed. speed. His ratings aren't bad, but he's a little slow, just like me for real. Deshaun Hurts. I wonder if that's what that one never mind. Should we take him? He looks pretty good. Okay, he has normal dev. And last pick I'm gonna show, let's go with Warren Miller. I think I'm gonna take a lot of linemen this year, but O-line overall doesn't matter anyways. We'll see. But Warren Miller, hidden dev? Why did I say that? I need to say normal dev, and they'll have hidden. I should know better, but he's probably a good overall. We'll see. But here's how we did in the draft. It was interesting. We actually did really well. I'll show y'all why in a second, but Jay Harris is honestly better than I expect. When I think of second to third round talent, I think of like a 69 overall, but apparently not. He's a 74. So he's actually good. Like he's starting caliber, and we got him in the second round, so we'll take that. And then Daryl Dunbar, 78. I mean, I'm not gonna list off all these overalls. You see them. We did well. A couple not great picks here, but I just wanted someone at these positions. And then the last pick was pretty good. 74 overall tight end. Won't start because we also drafted a 75 in Jimmy Boss, which is an interesting name, but I think we literally did about as well as we could have. All these good players went in the first round, and the best player that went in the second round was someone we took. Actually, the top two were both corners that we took. Daryl Dunbar and Deshaun Hurts. His corner was also good. There was a good receiver, but he went super early in the second round. So yeah, we did pretty well. Almost as well as we could have. Oh, I wish I saw this guy. Okay, he doesn't have a dev trait, but it's pretty hard to find good pass rushers in the second round, and Joe Miles was at least pretty good at a 76, so that's something we'll probably have to look for next year. But speaking of that, let's get into year one, or I guess year two. We'll call it year two, and let's see how the team's looking. But here we are heading into year two. We are looking, I would say good, but we're a 74 overall. We're at least much better than last year, I'll say that. And I did sign a couple more free agents like AJ Dillon, because I don't think our run game would be very good with a 69 overall running back, believe it or not. And who else did I sign? I mean, a couple undrafted guys, but we signed Leonard Floyd. Sometimes he's good in this game, like really good, so we'll see what version of him we get. But either way, the team is obviously massively upgraded. We will see how Jay Harris does this year. I don't know if the team's good enough around him for him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but hopefully someone does on the team, maybe. I have a little less hope for our defense, which probably means it'll somehow do better. Only a 73 overall though, but we'll just have to see what happens this year. It's obviously a developmental year, we'll say that. So we're just hoping for Rookie of the Year awards and maybe some players with really good dev traits. We'll see. To be honest, I don't know who would have a really good dev trait. Only picking in the second round makes it hard, but we will see. So let's get to the mid-season point of year two. My guess is gonna be one win. If we have one win, I'll say we're pretty successful to start out. Okay, I know this game too well. We are 1-6 at the mid-season. Also, more interestingly, we have 3 breakouts in the same week. I feel like that would make more sense if we're coming off of like a massive win, just blowing out the other team, but we lost in week 7. I don't know. We have a breakout D lineman. Who's this? Probably the rookie. Yeah. How many Rosses do we have? I don't know, but I don't think we're gonna hold the Panthers to any of that or get Frank Ross any of those stats, but we'll check, I guess. Breakout receiver. Don't know which this one's gonna be. Still don't know who it is. There's no face there. Akeem Gary, 3+ touchdowns or 150+ total yards. We'll see. I have my doubts. And then breakout DB, again, don't know. Aries Woodward, also a very hard name to say for me. I don't know why. I hope he becomes a superstar, because imagine one of the best players in the league being named Aries Woodward. I don't know if I said any of that right. I am dead tired, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see if we hit any of those breakouts. Also, the Panthers somehow ended up with Tony Pollard. I guess the Titans cut him. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. We have a lot of re-signings though. I'm gonna guess it's mostly just 12 overall players. Yeah, I'll probably bring some of these guys back at the end of the year. You know what? I'll sign Terrence Dillard back now, just before he develops more. He was only 21 years old with a hidden dev as a UDFA, so, or well, not hidden, it was star. Looks like he rejects us, so that's fun, thanks. All right, I don't care about the rest of these. Let's get to the end of the year. Or no, we'll see if we hit the breakouts. Okay, no, we didn't hit a single one of them because we got beat 41-7. Unlucky. But we finish 3-14 in year number 2. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that one win we got earlier in the year was gonna be our only win on the year, and it was the Buccaneers. That's interesting. We also beat the Cardinals and Falcons. Okay, all 3 of those kind of make sense. At least the Cardinals do. But we were not great this year. Let's see what went wrong. So Jay Harris was thankfully okay, 3,600 1,400 yards exactly, 20 touchdowns and 10 picks. Very satisfying year, I guess. Also 6.9 yards per attempt, nice. AJ Dillon was terrible, but honestly, I didn't expect much else. Oscar Divins led the team with almost 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns. I kind of wanted Gary to be the #1 receiver because, you know, he actually has a dev trait, but I guess the Saints playbook uses the #1 receiver the most, so good to know, I guess. We'll go over the dev traits in a second, though. It's interesting. The blocking, honestly, I expected it to be worse, so I'm okay with that. Jonah Williams was horrible, though. And then Terrence Dillard. How does this team work? He was the #1 tackle getter. I wanted that to be Pierman because he was a better overall, but plus he's actually under contract after the year. Dillard isn't. We'll see what happens there. 23 TFLs for Frank Ross. Nice amount of tackles, 4.5 sacks, but he led the team in sacks too. Leonard Floyd with only 4, and half a sack from Antoine Tapp as a starter. In over 1,000 snaps, you get half of a sack. That's crazy, but okay. And then Jamar Porter led the team with 2 picks, and then 1 for a few players. Why did all of our bad players do the best? I mean, I guess we kind of only have bad players, but like a 67 overall safety had 2 picks, or like what was a 65 overall linebacker had really good stats. Whatever, who cares? But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. Of course, Bryce Young would be at #2. I mean, at least he didn't win it, but when we're using a division rival, of course he's gonna be up there for MVP. But the white boy, Cooper Kupp, wins Offensive Player of the Year. No Saints. No Saints for Defensive Player of the Year either. But Offensive Rookie of the Year obviously goes to Oscar Divins. I wish it was Jay Harris, but he just didn't do well enough. We could take another QB this year if we want to, because honestly, from a Madden standpoint, he wasn't great. In real life, that would be a good rookie year for, you know, someone who was picked in the 2nd round at QB, but that was probably the worst quarterback season this year. We might check. And we don't win Defensive Rookie of the Year. We don't even get close. Frank Ross was at #4, and Terrence Dillard was at _5. Peter Stachelski. Where do they find these last names? Why can't we just get like Williams or like Johnson more often? The name's really, or the game's really testing my enunciation, one of those. Do they mean the same thing? Is one even a word? I don't know. But for dev traits, I had a pretty good prediction. We had 1 superstar dev, and that was of course the blocking tight end in Tyrone Hilaire. Everyone else had star devs, so that's kind of unlucky, but at least I expected it. I definitely think we're gonna go crazy in free agency this year. We might have to. So let's see what we can do. We'll see who we can re-sign first. So let's get to that. Oh, and let's see if we got any dev traits. We had some upgrades. I would hope. Okay, Divins got a dev trait, thankfully. Up to an 80 overall with star dev. That's good. I thought he didn't because for some reason I thought he already had star, but no, he had normal. So that's cool, I guess. That's good. Probably none on defense. Okay, no, we did get 2. The 2 players that I thought could win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Leonard Floyd got one, but Ross and Dillard both went up to superstar dev. I don't think either of them got a single upgrade point though. No, they just got dev traits. That's fine. But I have a fun plan for free agency this year. Before re-signings, I'll re-sign Jamar Porter. He led the team in picks if he wants to re-sign. We'll see if he takes this. He does. Oh, Quincy Mullins got a dev trait too. Okay, sure. Oh, and I guess I already got Dillard back. I forgot about that. But all right, let's get into free agency. And like I said, I have a plan. This should be interesting. Okay, we are unfortunately not going to be able to use my strategy very well, but I have maybe an even better strategy, which is pretty much just signing all the best players available in free agency. I feel like that's a, you know, pretty good plan. We are going to go for Nick Chubb, Joel Bitonio, DeMarcus Lawrence, who's insane in this game if you haven't seen one of these videos before. I guess he's not as insane as he used to be, but still good. JOK, Eric Armstead, Greg Newsome, and my plan was going to be, you know, I've kind of used this strategy in rebuilds before, but just go to like certain positions and find players who went undrafted but have good dev traits. Unfortunately, there weren't really any this year, just a couple, but sometimes you can find like X Factors, superstars. There unfortunately just weren't any this year. Maybe next year, we'll see. But I feel like this will work out better. It'll just be more expensive, but that's fine. We still have 76 mil to work with, even after offering all these deals. But let's see if these players want to sign. Okay, honestly, less than I expect. Well, we still get Nick Chubb, Joel Bitonio, Eric Armstead, Greg Newsome. We got everybody we were offering for. It looks like I'm not even gonna question this game anymore. Whatever. Yeah, we have CJ Stroud. I don't care. You do you, Texans. But DeMarcus Lawrence, JOK, Dicker the kicker, and Brandon McKinney, number 60. I've said 69 too many times. I need to stop. I have a problem. But these 4 players, do they want to sign? And it looks like we get all of them except McKinney. I'm cool with that. What does the team look like now? You know what? I'll save it until after the draft. I don't know what we're gonna need to do this year. We just fixed most of our needs, but let's see who's available in the draft. But let's see what we want to do this year in the draft. I already traded everything down, so we pick at number 1 in the second round, of course. A lot less second round picks this year. We had the number 2 pick instead of the number 1 this year, so I guess we got a little less value. But do we go with another corner here? I think my strategy is just gonna be to take good players, and Miles Freeman looks like a good player. Looks really similar to one of the corners we took last year. But again, it isn't best safety class. I mean, it looks really similar to last year too. Is this just the same draft class as last year? I don't know. Honestly, this doesn't look like that good of a draft class. So let's go with Miles Freeman. I don't think I'm gonna show as many picks this year as I did last year, but we'll go with Freeman. Hidden dev, 94 speed, 94 excel. Sounds good. Again, I'm surprised he has hidden dev, but I definitely won't complain. With our second round pick, let's see if there's a good receiver. Paul Kelly looks good. Elite acceleration. B medium route, A catching for a playmaker receiver. Definitely normal dev, but still good, I think. Ooh, even Harold Brooks. Kind of looks similar to the deep threat guy we took last year. Taylor Langley, a physical receiver with a short route. There are some pretty good receivers this year. Juan Christie also looks pretty good. Let's go with Paul Kelly simply because he's a scheme fit. He might actually not be that good though. There might be a reason he hasn't been taken yet because he was projected to go mid round 1. Whatever, we'll take him. He has hidden. I just need to say players are gonna have normal and they'll have hidden 100% of the time, 90% of the time. And then maybe last pick I'm gonna show, I know we have enough linemen, but I always like to carry too many linemen. Get it? Carry like his name. I'm hilarious. But no, I like to have too many linemen because inevitably one of them is gonna underperform, so we'll just bench whoever underperforms for Carry Childress. Looks good enough. Hidden dev, cool. But here's how we did in the draft this year. I will say I was pretty correct in thinking this was a terrible draft class. This one was a lot worse than last year, I'll say that. But for how bad it was, we did very well. So Miles Freeman, 79 overall. We still haven't drafted an 80, but I mean, I think Miles Freeman is, I don't want to say as close as we're gonna get because, you know, we could get lucky, but Miles Freeman is very good. Paul Kelly, 75 overall. That's what all playmakers are, but he does have a dev trait, which is obviously good. And then Carry Childress is actually better than I expect. He's a 78. Terrible run blocker, but also he has 74 run blocking. That isn't bad, obviously, but 62 power, 66 finesse. Weird. Okay. And then Josh Booth, 76. The rare time that I found an actually good tackle. Anytime I take a tackle, I think they're going to be like an 80 and they're a 73. It's always 73, but he's actually good. He had like all A ratings except run block, some of the run block stuff, whatever. Also really terrible safety classes. Like Peters was the best one I could find and he's only a 73, and then the rest of the class was good. The last pick I took was Percy Nolan, and then I simulated it and the CPU did nothing, but whatever. But the reason we did super well is because Miles Freeman was a top 5 talent and Corey Childress was, I guess, tied for a top 5 talent. I guess ranked number 6, but I don't know if this ranking really means anything. I have no idea. But we literally got the 2 best players we could have, again, other than this running back, but I obviously wasn't looking for running back. Harold Brooks, was he one of the receivers we were choosing between? I don't remember that name. Yeah, he was. Whatever. Oh well. I also thought about taking Larry Sneed, but I didn't think he was actually good, but he is. He's really good. And defensive end is a pretty big need, but oh well. It's better to just sign defensive ends most of the time anyways, so who cares? But overall, once again, we did almost as well as we could have, I guess, so we'll take it. But here's a look at the team heading into year 3. We're looking good. We're up to an 82 overall, which obviously isn't bad. And we have an 84 overall offense, only an 80 defense, but even that isn't too bad. So hopefully we can do better than, 3 wins this year. And again, I don't know if we're going to have any good dev traits. Maybe Childress. Sometimes centers have superstar. Maybe Kelly. Already revealed Miles Freeman's dev trait. I guess he's already played enough stats to reveal it. That's interesting. How? Wait, how do you play 500 snaps in the preseason? Do like practice counts or practice snaps count? That's interesting. But I guess the big question is, how is Jay Harris gonna play? If he plays like he did last year, we'll probably look to replace him, but hopefully he can do better than that. He has a good enough team around him now to hopefully do a little better. He doesn't have the best weapons in the world, but a good offensive line, a good running back, we'll see. Let's get to the midseason point, and hopefully we have maybe 3 wins, probably 2, but I'm gonna predict 3. Okay, I'm not cheating, I swear. I just have too many hours into this game. We are 3-4 at the midseason. My prediction for next year is gonna be 2-5 at the midseason. Then the year after that is gonna be 4-2. Either that's gonna happen or the other way around, where we're gonna be 4-2 next year and then 2-5, maybe 2-4 the year after. We'll see. Those are my predictions before we even know what the team's gonna look like, just because this game is, it seems like what is going to happen is already decided before it even happens. I'll put it that way. But we have some re-signings. Also, there was this UDFA linebacker, Rick Stern, who had superstar dev. I mean, he's such a low overall that it's probably never gonna matter, but I don't know. I guess we'll re-sign him. Maybe he can do something. Would he be a good safety? Probably not. And then everyone else, I don't know if I care. Very quick mid-season. Let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. I'm gonna predict, how's our O-line doing? Hold on. Okay, Jay Harris is bad, but how's the O-line? Okay, I'm gonna bench Mitch Ham. I'm gonna say after we bench Mitch Ham, our defense isn't great either though. I wanna get this right. I'm invested now. I'm gonna say maybe 9-8 if our O-line gets better. I could see us going like 7-10 though. Let's see what happens. All right, I've played this game too much. We're 9-8. We finished 9-8. Let me show y'all I didn't cheat. I guess that's probably, I've predicted too well, and I have to show that we cheated, or didn't cheat. Also, our defense allowed 45 points to the Falcons in week 18. We would have made the playoffs if our defense didn't do that, so that's fun. I would have been fine with being wrong. Let's see what happened though. Okay, Jay Harris was actually pretty good. Unfortunately, I set QB as our focus position because I didn't think he would be good. He was just good though. In real life, this would be a very good year, but not a great completion percentage, and this was probably a mid, maybe even below average season. I guess we'll check. But Nick Chubb, almost 1,500 yards, 6.2 per carry, 15 touchdowns, just a slight upgrade from last year. And we had 2 1,000-yard receivers. Kelly with 1,200 as a rookie. I made him the #1 receiver because that's what I wanted. He, of course, only has star dev because why would he have a good dev trait? 1,000 yards for Gary. Nick Chubb had more receiving yards than Jimmy Boss. That's unfortunate. Jimmy Boss had 10 receiving touchdowns, though. Okay, we might need a new offensive playbook. I don't really want Nick Chubb used this much as a receiver back. I'd rather have him just run. We'll see. But very good blocking, much better than last year. Terrence Dillard led the team in tackles this year as the #2 sub linebacker. Okay, sure. He also had 12 TFLs, but 19 for DeMarcus Lawrence led the team, 18 for Armstead, 17 for Ross, and sacks. 12 for DeMarcus Lawrence, 9 for Armstead, 8 for Frank Ross, which isn't Frank Ross a run defender? Yeah. Why is he getting so many sacks? He has 68 power moves and 69 finesse moves. If he was a pass rusher type, he wouldn't get any sacks. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I feel like they coded this game backwards on accident because of stuff like this. It's interesting. And then interceptions, 3 for JOK, 2 for Freeman, Dunbar, and Peters, and then 1 for a couple players. MVP goes to Dak because of course it does, which if you haven't already, I did a Cowboys rebuild on the second channel. I don't remember how it went because I recorded it like 2 weeks ago, but I finally uploaded it. Link in the description to the second channel. These might be outdated rosters. We still have Mac Jones on the Patriots. Whatever. It doesn't really impact us anyways. But of course, a division rival wins Offensive Player of the Year in Bijan Robinson. Nick Chubb at #6. DeMarcus Lawrence at #4 for Defensive Player of the Year. Paul Kelly obviously wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, great. Larry Sneed wins it. Someone I was thinking about drafting, but I just didn't for some reason. I don't remember if I forgot. That's a weird sentence. I don't remember if I forgot, but I don't know why I didn't take him. is what I'm trying to say. Miles Freeman at number 4. At least we won Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's cool. But let's get into the offseason. We have an 85 overall team heading into the offseason, so we already could be like close to a 90 overall by the start of next year. We will find out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this a second ago, but super quick. Again, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps out. I would appreciate it. Again, 2,000 likes and I'll do this again. I might just do this straight up again because this is a lot of fun. It's an interesting challenge. Subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to hit 60K really soon. And question of the day. I have an interesting one today. I'm liking these player-themed ones. The last one I did was, you know, who do you think is the second best quarterback in the league? Either Lamar, Burrow, or Allen. For this one, I'm gonna say, who do you think is the second best running back in the league? Maybe either Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry. Let me know who you would take down in the comments. Obviously, we're assuming, you know, Christian McCaffrey is probably the best. So let me know, would you take Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, or someone else down in the comments? I think that's a fun one. But now in the offseason, there wasn't really anyone for us to re-sign, just our punter. But in free agency, unfortunately, it isn't that great of a class. There are a few pretty good players, like I guess Ronnie Stanley could be okay, but I mean, we don't really need a tackle. So this is what we are gonna do in free agency. We're gonna try to get Charvarius Ward. We do need one more DB. We really need a strong safety. We kind of have like an all corner secondary because I moved Greg Newsome to free safety. But I think if we get Charvarius Ward, we'll move one of our corners to strong safety. I don't know. We might also just draft one, but either way, if we get Charvarius Ward, that's an upgrade, and he isn't that expensive. We're only offering him like 20 mil per year for one of the best corners in the league, so we'll take it. If he signs, because the Raiders are also very interested, or well, the same level of interested, I guess. Same level of offer. And he's really the only big player we're gonna go for. We're gonna go for John Lynch at receiver. We're going for a superstar dev right guard. I mean, he's only a 68 overall, but that's interesting. Max Cleveland and then Brady Bowden. I really haven't seen many like young, undrafted, like superstar dev players. I guess we have seen, what, a total of 2 now? With Toon and then the really bad linebacker we signed last year, but I don't know. That was gonna be my strategy to kind of fill out the base level of this roster, but there haven't been many of them. But that's fine. We have a good team anyways. But let's see if these players want to sign. If we don't get Ward, honestly, this is a pretty bad free agent class, but it's not the end of the world because we can still draft a safety. We might do that anyways. So let's see if these guys want to sign. Don't get Charvarius Ward. We get a backup QB. Yay. Charvarius Ward goes to the Raiders. I was also thinking about Rasul Douglas. He's older, though. I mean, I'd rather just draft a safety at that point. Do these 3 want to sign at least? They do. Okay, cool. All right, let's get to the draft. That was like one of the smallest free agent classes I've ever signed. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Also, I must have been really tired yesterday. I forgot to start Hilaire at tight end. I meant to because he has superstar dev, but now it's maybe too late because he's already 25. And once players hit like 25, they don't really develop anymore. So I guess we'll just stick with Jimmy Boss, but I definitely should have started Hilaire. My fault. I guess it probably wouldn't have mattered that much anyways, but still. But here in the draft, we pick at number 1 in the second round again, of course. We don't have as many picks this year because we only started with pick 17 when we've had, you know, pick 1 and then what, pick 2 last year? Or was it last year? Is this only year 3? What year is it? It's never good if you have to ask that question. 2026, so this is year 4. What happened last year? I don't know. Everything's a blur. I unfortunately set quarterback as our focus position though, just in case, and there are no good ones. There was like a top 5 projected QB, but he was only a 3rd to 4th round talent. Apparently someone took him. There was a like 1st to 2nd round talent QB, but he's also gone, but I don't think I would take him anyways because we just don't need a QB anymore. Oh, there was a good safety. He had a zone, but he's gone. Let's see. How does Shaden Swift look? That's another kind of annoying name. He looks all right. He's just kind of slow. He's probably decent. I don't know if there's anyone better than like a 75 here though. That's the problem. That's what we need. Someone that can be an upgrade over the safety we have, but I just don't see one. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to do here. We don't really have many more needs that we can fix through the draft. We could honestly trade some picks away for a player. That might be what we do, because I feel like this would just be a throwaway pick if we spend it. All right, I think I have a plan. I'm sure y'all know what position I'm gonna trade for. Maybe. maybe. Wait, maybe I'm not even sure what position I want to trade for. There are a couple. Also, why do the Bears have 2 of our players? Ooh, wait, let me check one more thing. I didn't look at corners. That could be somebody we can move to safety. Okay, maybe we should take a corner. Kadarius Franklin looks just like the last 2 good corners we've taken. Around 4.4-ish speed. Great speed, elite acceleration, great strength, A man, B zone, B press, C player act. Looks exactly the same. There are also a few others. Eric Barker has A press. That's interesting. Marlon Mullins has possibly A man, maybe. But yeah, I think we are going to go with Kadarius Franklin. We could also, wait a minute. We could trade this pick away and hope that Franklin's going to be there by the mid-second because he's second to third. We might just take him now anyways, just because he does look really good. All right, Kadarius Franklin out of Colorado. Let's take him. Normal dev. Great. But I think he's a good overall, so we'll see. He'll just be a third corner anyways, I think. And here we are going to take one of our players back. We're going to get Chris Olave from the Bears. We're trading a 2 and a 3 for Chris Olave and a 6. Seems like a fair-ish trade. That seems about right. I have no idea what he would get traded for in real life because players like him don't get traded much. But now our receiving core is really good. We should have a good secondary. What else do we want to draft? I'll show one more pick. We've basically used, I guess, 3 technically if we want to count the trade ones, but I don't know. Ooh, there's some good linebackers this year. Brian Barksdale. Ooh, okay, we don't really need a linebacker. We have enough, but I mean, I don't know if we're gonna fill many needs here anymore. Ooh, also, Johnny Woodson. Okay, he isn't super fast. It says he has good speed. 4.71 isn't amazing. All right, that's false advertising. Thank you, EA. Colin Morrison could be good. Great speed, only solid acceleration though. I don't know. We don't even like need a tight end. I mean, we kind of do, but we're not going to fix that in the draft. We need a pass rusher, kind of. I just doubt there's anyone good enough left, so I think we might just go with a good player. Let's take Brian Barksdale. We have like 4 good linebackers already, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to add another. Hidden dev, 88 speed, 88 excel, 78 strength. Sounds good. And I guess let's just take Colin Morrison for fun. He looks pretty good. Normal dev, great. But here's how we did in the draft. We did all right. We did okay. We might have gotten a top 5 player in the class again in Kadarius Franklin. We'll see. Now that I said that, he's not going to be. But a 79 in this early second, I mean, that's at least a mid-first, like high mid-first round talent. Probably a top 10 talent. That's a lot of T's. And he is kind of a tease. He only has normal dev, so a little unlucky, but I mean, he's still good. That was still a really good pick. Brian Barksdale, honestly, I thought he would be a little better. He's good. When I looked at his stats more, though, I mean, he had a lot of B's, only like 1 A. So, but he's good. That's definitely a good pick. I don't love number 91 at off-ball linebacker, especially when you're 225. If you're wearing a number in the 90s at off-ball linebacker, you better be like 260. I know that doesn't really exist much anymore, but you know what I mean. And then Morrison's whatever. I also took Eric Baker. He was still available, normal dev, but 75 overall. Sammy O'Neal, he's decent. I didn't realize that, you know, we only use power rushers. That's like our rush end scheme for both sides, unfortunately, so he's not really going to get much of a role, but he had A finesse moves at outside linebacker, so I was like, sure. And then Johnny Harding, he had A power moves, but that's like his only good, well, no, he also has a 91 acceleration, but those are his only 2 good traits. Everything else is legitimately horrible. Like, he is so bad other than his power moves and acceleration. And then the CPU certainly did something, took another corner and another linebacker, because that's what we need. I mean, I guess I don't know what we need, but it definitely isn't that. But here we are heading into year 4. I'm like completely forgetting a year in my brain. We're in 2026, so yeah, that's year 4. It started 2023, we had 2024, 2025, and now it's 2026. Yeah, it's 2020, or year 4. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm losing my mind a little bit, but we're up to an 85 overall. We have an 87 offense, 83 defense. I'm surprised our offense is an 87. I mean, okay, I guess Nick Chubb kind of carries the overall, and Joel Bitonio, and I guess Chris Olave, but our offense definitely isn't perfect. I guess it is well-rounded, though. We don't really have any, like, major problems, at least on paper. I'm sure they will arise as the season goes on, though. I'm not sure what's going to happen first. We're either going to be 4-3 this year and then 2-5 next year, or the other way around. I think I said that earlier, not that long ago, but that's my prediction for the mid-season. But here's a look at the defense. I mean, it's pretty good. I feel like an 83 is disrespectful. I mean, I know that's just how the overall thing works, but on paper, I mean, I'm not really too worried about anything other than maybe the DB or the safeties. We'll see though. Even the safeties could be decent, but I like our D-line a lot. I'm a little worried about Tap because he's been pretty bad, but other than that, our D-line is good. We'll just see what happens this year. This is just, if things go bad, we'll do something to fix it. If it's good, we'll just add to it. It's one of those type of seasons. I guess every season is one of those, but let's get to the mid-season point. My guess, I feel like my predictions might be wrong. I don't know if we're going to be 2-5 or 4-3. I feel like we're just simply too good to be 2-5, but that's the feeling I get for this season. How were we in the preseason? That doesn't really help. We had the best offense and the worst defense. We're going to be 3-3 at the midseason. That's my final prediction because I don't know what else to guess. Okay, I was very wrong with my prediction, but I am glad I was wrong because we are 6-1 at the mid-season. The rest of our division sucks. The Panthers are 2-5 and the Falcons and Bucks are both 1-6, or the Falcons are 1-5, but both of them have one win. It looks like our stats are good, but they don't really look like a 6-1 team stats. We aren't first for anything and our defense isn't great. Should we change our defensive playbook? It isn't that good of a defense on paper though. That's the only thing. Also, how's the blocking? Okay, not great. I think we're gonna bench Mitch Ham again. I gave him another chance, but maybe I shouldn't have. When we're not getting much pressure on defense, this does not feel like a 6-1 team. It feels like we're gonna really collapse in the second half of the year. So let's see. Let's put Stewart back at left guard. Actually, how about Charleston? Because I think he actually has hidden dev and is a lot younger, or at least a couple years younger, maybe. Okay, he doesn't have hidden dev, but he is 3 years younger, so we'll start him over Stewart. And should we change our defensive playbook? Our defense was bad last year too, right? Yeah, it was pretty bad last year too. All right, well, should I go with the Bills defense? The more I use the Bills defense, the less I like it. It used to be my favorite 4-3 defense. I just feel like I don't know if there is a good 4-3 defense. I don't know if there is a consistently good defense in this game at all. It seems like all of them are hit or miss, but we'll try the Bills. We might as well. But we're not going to mess with our offense other than benching one player. And do we have re-signings? It says we have 7, but anyone important? Ooh, Eric Armstead and DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence might retire after the year. He's going to be 35, but neither of them are interested. Nobody here's interested at all. Most of these guys I don't care about, but I mean, this is like our entire pass rush right here. Well, we'll wait until the end of the year after they regress, but like I said, Lawrence might retire. Hopefully not though. But let's get to the end of the year. Hopefully we don't collapse too hard, but I'm gonna guess like 11-6, something like that. Okay, I was close. We finished 12-5 and we make the playoffs. We did fall off a tiny bit technically, but not too much. We were on pace to go like 14-3-ish, but it looks like our defense did get a lot better throughout the second half of the year, which is surprising because normally if you change defensive playbook in the middle of the season, it kind of gets worse and then gets better the next year, which I guess is realistic. You know, probably changing your whole defensive scheme mid-season wouldn't be easy, but it does work out here, so that's good. Jay Harris, very similar year to last year. Actually, no, he only had like 20 passing touchdowns last year, right? Oh no, last year he was good. The first year he had 20, 10 picks. Okay, good year, 4,200 yards, nice longest pass, got sacked a few more times than you would like, but really good completion percentage. Nick Chubb, 1,300 yards, 5.2 per carry, 15 touchdowns. Again, our offense is good, so I'm not going to change the playbook, but I do kind of want to lean into Nick Chubb more because Jay Harris isn't like amazing or anything. But Chris Olave, 1,200 yards, welcome back. Almost 1,200 yards for Divins, 9 touchdowns. I wanted Paul Kelly to get more production because he has superstar dev, but just didn't work out that way. And Josh Booth at right tackle was kind of terrible, but the rest of the line held up well. Charleston definitely did better than Ham. And then Dillard, 108 tackles, TFL's 21 for Armstead, 19 for Lawrence, 18 for Ross, and sacks, 16 for DeMarcus Lawrence. Has he ever gotten 16 in his career? Let me see. I mean, he had 14.5 one year. That was 7 years ago, though, in real life, so don't know if he'll be this good at age 34, but I guess you never know. 9.5 sacks for Armstead, though, 6 for Ross. Antoine Tapp is horrible. We need another pass rusher. And then interceptions, 3 for JOK, 2 for Freeman, and then 1 for a few players. So good year. Definitely some flaws, but good for the most part. I didn't mean to go to weekly awards, but I'm kind of glad I did. Jay Harris got one. That's cool. Did we get any others? Jay Harris, week 14 too. That's it, but we'll take that. Do they even do anything weekly awards? I have no idea, but Jalen Hurts wins MVP. Nick Chubb at number 7 for Offensive Player of the Year. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't higher. He was who's pretty good, but whatever. You'll never guess who won Defensive Player of the Year. No way. Aaron Donald is still here in these rosters. Whatever. I shouldn't point stuff like that out. It ruins the immersion. Also, the Lions pass rush is Josh Allen and Aiden Hutchinson. No thanks. I'm good. That's horrifying. But DeMarcus Lawrence at number 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. Nobody up here for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think we had anyone. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, Kadarius Franklin at number 6. I think that was like our only defensive rookie that got any playing time too, so couldn't really expect many awards there. But we are going to be taking on the Minnesota Vikings in the wild card here. We can't even complain too much if we lose to them, because they do have a better overall team than us. We definitely overperformed this year. But we do have an upgrade for JOK, that's huge. And did I see a lot of scenarios? 2. I don't even know what I clicked on. One last hurrah for DeMarcus Lawrence. Oh no. I mean, I expected it. Hopefully he doesn't actually retire. More often than not, they don't retire if you have a one last hurrah scenario, but now that I said that, he's definitely gonna. And then we have a first of many. This is definitely faster than I thought we would make the playoffs. Well, maybe. It is year 4, but we'll go play it cool, y'all know me. It looks like we're doing well. We're coming off a 38-10 win against the Falcons. Thankfully, it's not a loss. But let's see if we can beat the Vikings here. I can't be too disappointed if we don't, but we do. 25-15. Okay, cool. But we have a couple recaps, one for the one last hurrah. Give us that morale. We'll take it. And a recap for the first of many. Give us those sweet, juicy staff points. I still don't think I've spent a staff point in my entire life. Like, legitimately. Ooh, and we got a +2 overall upgrade for Kadarius Franklin. +4 man and +2 press from a slot upgrade. I always give this tip, but if you want a man coverage upgrade, or 2 of them, use slot for corners. A lot of the time it gives a +2 overall man coverage upgrade, or man-to-man upgrade. But we are going to be taking on the Giants in the divisional. This is a game we should win. Now that we should win it, we probably won't, but it looks like they had a horrible defense. I don't know how they made the playoffs. Even their offense wasn't that good. They have a decent overall team, but we're better. We have the better record. We're at home. That's 3 ticks in what should be the positive category, but definitely doesn't work that way in Madden. Let's see what happens here against the Giants. Can't say I'm surprised. Let's get into year 5, possibly the final season. We could even go to a year 6, though. God, I am so excited for the new college football game. I definitely don't know as much about college football as I do, NFL football, but you know what? It'll help me learn the players, so that's good. But that'll be a ton of fun. Expect a video like the day the early access starts, so I think July 16th is going to be my first college football video. I think that's the first day. That's going to be a ton of fun. But we have a lot of upgrades here. Why? Oh, some practice squad guys, I guess, and like just a bunch of random upgrades, more practice squad guys. Cool. But for re-signings, DeMarcus Lawrence did retire. Thankfully, Eric Armstead is still here. We'll see if he wants to re-sign. We'll go 3 years, 54. He takes it. And then everyone else I'm good with letting go. So we are going to need to fix this pass rush. Hopefully there's a good free agent, but we currently have 0 good pass rushers. Antoine Tapp is horrible. Should never see a football field again. And then we have what? Max Cleveland, a 70 overall. So hopefully there's a good free agent, like I said. If not, we might be in for a long year 5. Okay, that's pretty lucky. As long as we can sign Aiden Hutchinson, it looks like he has been doing insanely well. Yep, I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'm not even gonna go neutral. Neutral would only be a level 4 offer, whatever you want to call it. So we'll go player friendly. It'll be a maxed out level offer. I mean, even AJ Brown is here. Should we go for AJ Brown just to make a nasty receiving core? It looks like he has a lot of offers, so we might not be able to get him. Nah, we can't. Okay. Well, I had to try. Zay Flowers, though. He isn't that much of an upgrade. We'll see. I'll look through here and we will see what we want to do. But okay, here's what we are going to do in free agency. We are going to go for Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Williams, another player we're going to bring back to the Saints. I guess, with Chris Olave, he is a Saint in real life, so we're just bringing him back here. But Marcus Williams hasn't been a Saint in a couple years, in a few years, so whatever. We're bringing him back. Either way, we're going to sign Elton Jenkins and Isaiah Foskey. We are bringing him back. He's actually been surprisingly decent. I didn't love that pick in real life, but here he's been all right. Actually pretty good. 7.5 sacks, 18 TFLs. The only thing is that's on the Cowboys, Madden's favorite team. So we should probably expect like 5 sacks, which isn't great. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of still want to draft a pass rusher, but these 4 players, do they want to sign? And we do get all 4 of them. That's huge. Our defense is going to be kind of crazy, at least on paper. But let's get to the draft. I'm not totally sure what I want to do yet, but I have a few ideas. does, I think. But here in what could be the final draft, we could end up doing one more, like I said. I don't know what we even really need anymore. We're kind of in the same dilemma that we had last year, where we have a team that we can't really fix with draft picks. It has to be fixed with free agents or trades. But there are a couple good-ish looking power rushers. Jay Sawyer looks okay, but he's not supposed to go until, you know, the 3rd to 4th round. So I think we're going to take Julius Burgess. I don't think he's great because he has not great block shedding, but I don't know what else to pick. We could go with another DB, but we have enough. Like, there are good corners like there always are, but we just don't really need another corner. We're good. We're okay. And if we really want one, we can go with like Corey Cox. Crazy name, but if we really want a corner, we can go with him later. But we have like 12, so there is also a good safety, Will Webb. What's with the alliteration? Stop it. But we're gonna go with Julius Burgess out of UCF, left-handed just like me for real, so we'll take him. Shockingly has hidden dev. I thought I guess that's not necessarily true. I was gonna say I thought every late first, early second pass rusher had normal dev, but there are some, and he is one of them, thankfully. I mean, he doesn't look bad. A power moves, B finesse. Like, his stats look great. I just know he's gonna be like a 72, because that's what the late first, early second, 3-4 outside linebackers always are, or right around a 72 at least. But maybe the only other pick I'm gonna show here, let's go with Jay Sawyer out of Ohio State. Definitely a big defensive end, 278. He definitely fits what the Saints like. Big run defending 4-3 end, so we'll take him. Also hidden dev. You know what? We might not have done that bad. I don't know if either of these guys are like over a 75, so it's not gonna look great on paper, but for what we need, those two might be pretty good. You know what? I haven't seen one crazy good offensive lineman this whole rebuild. Normally the like very early second is where you find those like 83 overall guards or centers, but even in like just checking the whole draft class, I haven't seen one. I guess I forgot to check last year, but I definitely didn't see one by the time we were picking, and I checked, so unlucky, I guess, but our O-line's been fine. I guess it wasn't great last year, but what can you really do? Last pick I'm gonna show, let's go with Braylon Clay, a run support safety with like actual decent speed, good acceleration, elite strength. The only problem is his awareness isn't very good, and you know, he doesn't look like a great cover player as you would expect, but A pursuit, A tackle, A block shed, A hit power, A finesse moves. I guess he's a good blitzer, so let's take him. Normal dev, but I think he's a good overall player, at least like a 74, which isn't bad for this range, so we'll take it. Okay, pretty good predictions for overalls. Julius Burgess, I thought, no, I did think Burgess was gonna be better. He looked better to me. He's a 75, Sawyer's a 74, and Braylon Clay, I just said, I don't think he's gonna be any worse than a 74, and he is a 74, so definitely not a flashy draft class, but we filled out the depth that we need. Maybe there was someone in this class that could have started in this range, but okay, there was a really good guard, but he went in the first round, so we couldn't get him. 84 overall, though, to the Lions. 99 strength, 99 impact block. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's crazy. I don't know why he wasn't like a top 5 pick. That's like a generational guard. But yeah, there wasn't like anyone we could have taken that was good. We got really unlucky in this draft class. The best players were a 77 overall running back, a 77 overall corner, another 77 overall corner, another 77 overall running back, and a receiver. Like, none of these guys would have gotten playing time, so we literally did, once again, the best that we could have. So what can you really do? But we did all right. We did well enough. I hate the number 22 for a pass rusher. Let's go with, we don't have any more defensive end numbers left, so now we'll go with 54. That works. But here's a look at the team heading into, again, what could be the final year. Up to an 87 overall, should be like close to a 90 by the end of the year, so pretty good for the challenge that we're doing, starting with a 0 overall team and not allowed to spend any first round picks. I thought about doing this challenge where I just have to completely get rid of first round picks and just trade them away for like a 7th or something, but I thought that would probably be too hard and wouldn't be very fun, so if you want me to do that, let me know, but again, I'm not sure how possible that would be, because even this team isn't insane or anything. But my main concern for this team is still kind of the defense. I think our pass rush should be good, but it's always scary to bring in new players in Madden. You just never know how well they're gonna do, despite, you know, being pretty good players. And definitely the secondary still may be questionable. But the offense should be good. If there's anyone underperforming at the midseason, we'll bench him again. man. So let's get to the midseason. Oh yeah, and also I should mention, I almost forgot, but Jay Harris got Superstar Dev. That was probably a bad time to bring that up because I was talking about something completely different, but I just remembered. I don't know why he got it, but he got it, so we'll take it. But all right, let's get to the midseason point and let's see how we are doing. Okay, we are once again 6-1. Maybe the Saints playbook is pretty good. I say that as we have the 24th pass game in the league, so maybe not. We also have the 29th pass D. There's still issues with this team. Something that just is a certified EA moment and I don't know what to do about it. How's the blocking? Josh Booth kinda sucks, but I don't know if I have a better option at right tackle. Kerry Childress also isn't great, but again, don't think I have a better option there. We might at right tackle though. We'll see. And the pressure's good. Ooh, Isaiah Foskey's doing really well. And then obviously Hutchinson and Armstead are, but I expected them to do well. I wasn't sure about Foskey. I don't know what the issues are right now. I think it's just Madden being Madden, but we're 6-1. I definitely can't complain. Let's see, who should we throw in at right tackle? I do not trust Mitch Ham. He's been the guy we've had to bench every single year. Either Bruce Stewart, Craig Charleston. Stewart's been the guy we've thrown in and he's done really well, but Charleston's a lot younger still. We'll throw Stewart. We don't really need to develop anyone anymore. We just need players that do well. So we'll see what happens there. Do we have re-signings? It looks like we have a lot. Okay, Jay Harris, Frank Ross, Chris Olave, Daryl Dunbar. The alliteration, man. I keep forgetting. Oscar Divins, definitely not Antoine Tapp. Jimmy Boss. Why is nobody interested? This is weird. Normally, once we have, you know, a good team, everyone's super interested in re-signing, but like nobody here is. A few are, but not necessarily ones I want back. I don't think I'm gonna re-sign anyone here just because sometimes if you re-sign players, they start to play worse. So I just think I'm not gonna mess with it because this very well could be the last year anyways. So let's get to the end of the season. I'm gonna predict 12-5 again, maybe 13-4. Let's find out. But here we are at the end of year number 5. And you know what? I don't think I've ever done this before, but before I show how we did, I'm gonna have a second question of the day. I don't think I've ever done 2-in-1 video, but I was thinking about this and it's kind of interesting. But do you think this would be a good strategy in real life? Not starting with a 0 overall team, obviously, but like if you ended up with the number 1 pick, would it be a good strat to just trade it down a million times and get as many picks as you can? I know that's not realistic. I'm sure there would be some cap space issue because you would obviously have to sign all those players and it would be hard to find that many different teams to trade down with that many times. But just ignoring that, like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it might be a good strategy instead of spending the number 1 pick, just trading it down a ton. Because the draft is basically a bunch of lottery tickets and why not just get as many as you possibly can? I don't know. I'm not saying I would do it, but I'm saying it could work out pretty well than spending the number 1 pick. Because how many number 1 picks are even worth it necessarily? Like last year, Bryce Young, at least in year 1, definitely wasn't worth it. 2022, Trayvon Walker, definitely wasn't worth it. I mean, he gets sack production, but that's all kind of schemed up. Who was 2021? Trevor Lawrence? I don't think that was necessarily worth it so far. I mean, I think he's underrated, but was he the best player in that class? I don't necessarily think so. I don't know. I feel like I just asked a super interesting question. I feel like I just brought the number 1 overall pick into question. And think about what happened with the Bears. They traded theirs down and ended up with a haul that like completely changed the direction of their franchise. Wait a minute. I think I just answered my own question. Definitely trade down the number 1 pick in real life at least once. That's interesting. Anyways, in the final year of this rebuild, this was a ton of fun. I really want to do this again, I'm not gonna lie. But in the final year, we finished 15-2. And we, of course, made the playoffs with a first-round bye. Now, unfortunately, we're coming off a loss in Week 18. Week 18 is always weird in Madden. I mean, I guess it's kind of weird in real life. It's more like Week 1 in real life, to be fair, because Week 1 is kind of where just weird stuff happens that doesn't really show what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It feels like it's the week of upsets. That's kind of how Week 18 is here. But let's check out our season stats. Jay Harris, 3,800 yards, less than last year, but 30 34 touchdowns, only 8 picks. Still a really good completion percentage. Really good year from him. Nick Chubb is kind of slowly getting worse. I know he had more yards this year, about 1,350, but only 4.6 per carry. I say only as that's still really good, especially for a, 31-year-old running back, but he's, I guess, slowly regressing for yards per carry, but 17 touchdowns, though. 1,000 yards for Paul Kelly, 11 touchdowns. Chris Olave, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Unfortunate number combination there. 800 yards for Divins. He was good. Blocking, Elgton Jenkins wasn't great, but the rest of the line was amazing. Stewart was definitely better than Booth. Booth allowed 5 sacks and 500 snaps. Bruce Stewart only allowed 4 in 700 snaps. Words are hard right now. I can't really speak well. Also, Warren Miller, I didn't even notice, joins the all-castration team. He allowed 0 sacks in a year. You love to see it. Ooh, I see some weird stats. Okay, JOK led the team with 108 tackles. TFLs, I didn't see that. 25 for Frank Ross. That is close to the most I've ever seen in this game. 22 for Hutchinson. But sacks? Foskey led the team with 11 sacks. I'm definitely glad I signed him. 10 for Hutchinson. I mean, he was still good. I thought for sure he would be our leading sack getter by a lot, but I mean, still good. It's the worst year he's had in this whole rebuild, of course, but can't say I didn't expect that. And then 8.5 sacks for Armstead. Interceptions, 5 for JOK. What a year from him. 108 tackles, 11 TFLs, 2 sacks, 5 picks. What a year. Could be up there for Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe. I don't know. He didn't really have the tackle numbers, but they shouldn't matter as much as they do, but they do for some reason. And then two picks for Dunbar and Williams, 1 for Hurts and Freeman. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. No Saints. Deshaun Watson is the Commanders QB. That makes sense. If any team was going to sign Deshaun Watson, it would probably be them. But they also got AJ Brown, who was at number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year. Nick Chubb at number 6. Defensive Player of the Year, you'll never guess who it was. JOK at number 7. Aiden Hutchinson at 9. Isaiah Foskey at 10. So those were definitely 2 good signings, but no rookies really played at all, so nobody up there for the Rookie of the Year awards. You know what? I don't know if we won a single major award through this entire rebuild. Did we? I think we might have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think twice, but I don't know. I don't think we got an Offensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player of the Year a single time. I don't know the last time that's happened, especially, you know, when we've been pretty successful here. That's weird. But we have some upgrades. Anything important? Oh yeah, Terrence Dillard, Deshaun Hurts. We'll take that. But who are we gonna be taking on in the divisional? Oh no, of course. Our division rival, the Atlanta Falcons, who somehow made the playoffs and won in the wild card as an 8-9 team. Why? Also, the Packers won in the wild card at 8-9. The Jets won in the wild card at 8-9. This game has so many issues. I mean, weird stuff happens in real life, but not that weird. We get an upgrade for Julius Burgess. Is his dev trait revealed? I want to see what our dev traits are. Probably I'll just star. What hidden devs did we even have? We had like a running back. His isn't revealed yet. Okay, and Sawyer's and Burgess's revealed yet. I'm gonna cheat. What are they? Doesn't really matter because we're not gonna play them anyways, but what are they? Burgess could have superstar. Oh, that was definitely a good pick. We're not gonna play him because Foskey did well. If we kept going after this year, this team could get insanely good as long as Burgess actually played well. But I wouldn't want to play him over Foskey. It's not like Foskey's old, so I don't know. How big is Isaiah Foskey? Could he rotate as a D tackle? 265. Sawyer could though. He's like 280 almost. What's his dev trait? He hasn't developed as much, so probably star, but now I'm curious. Okay, just star, but I mean, that was a pretty good draft for not knowing what to do. I'm really just stalling here because I don't want to lose to the Falcons, but we have a playoff rivals scenario. I always go chess match. You know what? Let's switch it up. Let's go hard-hitting brawl. Why not? I feel like we could use some hit power. It looks like the Falcons had a really terrible offense this year, though, and not even that great of a defense. It was fine. I just feel like we're going to lose this game, man. We have every advantage on paper. Literally every advantage. I don't think there's anything that they were better than us at other than, like, rush yards per game, which, whatever. Let's see what happens against the Falcons. What did I expect?